Good morning. It's just gone 7:30 Sunday morning. I was hoping to get out before it got light. I fancied a walk when the sun comes up today. It's a lot colder than I thought it would be. Not complaining. I like to feel the cool air on my skin. I think we're nearing the end of the Indian summer here, so yeah. It's day 80 today. I don't know if I've already said that. I'm feverish of the Repton Oak visit. And I have, very occasionally, I have a very clear idea of what I want to do at the tree. And today's one of those days. So if you watched my last video, you'll know that somebody had left a McDonald's all over the place under the tree. I didn't have any bag to collect it up in, but I've bought a bag today, so I bet nobody's picked it up. So that's the first thing, and then secondly, I want to read some poetry there as a way of reciprocating the love I feel, imagined or not, that I get from the tree, the comfort and strength that I draw from visiting it. Just want to give something back today, and because I know that the tree isn't well. I think it's so old and it's fighting infection and disease from fungus and insects. And I believe in energy exchange, even if it only picks up the vibrations of me being there, physical vibrations. I think just the act of offering something back is important to me. Showing some respect. So that's the plan. And like I say, I've got this is what having a fever does for you. There's some orange, I think it's construction material over there. I haven't got my glasses on at the moment. I'll stop a second. Over there, there's some piece of plastic, I think it is. And I thought, oh, that's nice. That's I've got a load of pumpkins out there. It's my imagination. Some beautiful orange pumpkins, but I'm still not well. Sort of chesty and sore throat, and when you're kind of on you're feverish and everything takes on a kind of surreal, edge, a different type of consciousness. I'm actually making the most of that because I'm still trying to tackle this critique review thing I've got to do for the green building first module of my master's. And I've done loads and loads of reading, listening, work, and I'm a bit overwhelmed with information at the moment, to say the least. But yeah, when you're sort of, I suppose it's a bit like when you're drunk, you know, you get these, not that I've done a lot of getting drunk, I think I've done it about twice and I hated it. But, you know, that kind of altered state of reality, and it's kind of given me a few insights and ideas about what I could talk about. Sort of loosens you up a bit. So that's good. And I bought a book called Sustainable Construction by Sandy Halliday, the second edition, and as soon as I got it in my hands I knew this was going to be a special book. It's absolutely beautiful, full of colour photos of green sustainable buildings all over the world. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I can tell it's really accessible, and she's interested in the social aspect of buildings and how they affect individuals and communities, and which is what I'm interested in as well. So I actually made contact with her on Instagram straight away and thanked her for the book and told her how excited I was to read it, that I want to integrate what I'm learning about green building into my work. I hope to do with incest survivors and how green buildings have the capacity to boost their health and well-being. So, and she said she was more than happy to keep in touch, which was really nice. And yeah, I got a sense that even though things still feel really hard and I'm not going to get it done in time, I sort of felt, I don't know, some energy from somewhere conspiring to help me with it all. For example, I was just going through my emails in bed. I tend to wake up at about midnight every night. I go to bed really early because I get up extremely early. So I sort of wake up about 11 o'clock, 12. And yeah, I opened a Work That Reconnects email. It's all about the work of Joanna Macy, you can look her up. And there's something about biomimicry in architecture, and I'll talk more about that next time. But it really resonated with me. The reason I'm not going to talk about it now is that I don't know the names of the podcaster or the author of the book I want to get at some stage, but I will talk about it soon. So yeah, and the other thing I want to say is how nothing feels real. You just don't know what's real in life anymore. What's fake and what's real. And once again I have to laugh because with my OCD, it's kind of like I'm living like a dual reality. Sometimes nothing feels real because the obsessions and compulsions sort of just cross the road. Yeah, the obsessions and compulsions I have sort of, what's the word, make me very discombobulated. That's not the word, but near enough. For example, I've just boiled some eggs for Jan, and I don't like to have the oven switched on while I'm out, in case she sets something on fire by accident or burns herself. So, and I hadn't done that before going out. So, and I have this thing about leaving appliances on. So I was, I'm a bit paranoid about having left that on, so I had to take a photograph of the switch and all that, and then I sort of, when it's really bad, I'm very, I feel sort of what I do now as if I'm sort of in another world, plus with the fever. So you've got that layer of sort of unreality, and then of course Jan isn't the same person. It's like, that's very surreal and devastating and everything else. And then you've got AI, the rise of AI, and you really just don't know what's real and what isn't. But what I do know is real is this place. This is reality for me. This is what grounds me in all this madness. Visiting the tree and walking in the forest. So, yeah, probably shouldn't be out in the cold and stuff, but I need the fresh air. I need to get out. And to be strict with myself, because the temptation is just to work flat out. And nothing's worth. Life's too short for that, shutting yourself in an office all day. You need to see something of the world and be with your loved ones and in the garden and cook nice food. And look at this, the lovely yellow leaves falling down from this tree here. Yeah, just threw my clothes on, packed my bag. I've got some food today because Jan's something wrong with the bank card. Can't use it, so I think the bank have cancelled it, and we're waiting for a new one to be issued, and that's nearly 2 weeks ago now, and we just haven't got any money, so we're having to rely on. I mean, I've bought as much food as I can for us both, and I'm having to buy cat food and cat litter and cleaning products. I just got no money left, so carers they're having to buy food for us. We just haven't got any. And they bought a load of, it was really nice of them. Some of the stuff Jan doesn't like, so she doesn't like macaroni cheese, so I've bought that out. And a can of beans. But I'll see how I feel when I get to the tree. It's a bit later now, so I don't really want an audience at the tree. But I can always go. My other little place that I found a few weeks ago now, sort of the rougher part of the woods where there's a lot of fly tipping, but it's still really peaceful. So yeah, let's get there, and I could get to the tree and just feel absolutely rotten, in which case I'll come back again. So yeah, I've just come up onto the coming up onto the gravel path actually, because I've got my trainers on that aren't waterproof. They're trail runners and they're not waterproof, just waiting for a lady to go past. And it sounds like somebody's having a rave in the woods. I can hear really loud techno music. Just wait for the lady to go. Yeah, never heard that before. 7:45 in the morning. Can also hear a helicopter. Yeah, don't know if the microphone will pick it up. Hear it. I'm a bit wary of going in the woods because of this psycho jogger that's often around at this time. Just emanates hate and aggression for some bizarre reason. I'll be quiet and maybe you can hear it. Don't know if you can hear that. I'm not going to walk through here at the moment. Dodgy vibe. Starting, my throat's sore, I'm starting to ache, so maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. Yeah, just while it's on my mind, because likely to forget otherwise. I've bought some poetry by the late great poet Roddy Lumsden, who is a Scottish poet, and he actually taught me back in 2014. Did 2 or 3 classes with him at the poetry school in Lambeth, and I got an enormous amount out of it. On a personal level, we I don't know, I think there was this kind of weird chemistry, but nothing, I don't know, is that a weird chemistry, but also you know, we kept our distance from each other. You know, I'm not talking sexual chemistry. It was kind of more creative, you know, a meeting of creative souls. But anyway, his teaching just ignited my poetic my poetry side, and I wrote some of my best poems to date, or the ones that I'm most pleased with. And I actually got a Forward Prize nomination for one of them. And he died, sadly. He was a drinker and his liver failed, and he died when he was 51, I think, back in 2020. And I miss him. I never used to see him. I used to go to the pub with him after class and with the other peers in the poetry group, and I read at a few events of his, but we weren't friends, you know. Bit of an exchange on Instagram sometimes. But I miss him being in the world. I miss people, you know, like that. And he was an extremely sensitive person. Very imaginative. He's like me, kind of set himself mad projects, writing projects. And I think one year he visited, was it Westminster Bridge? He used to go and do something on Westminster Bridge every day, and half-starved himself and became I don't know, very dishevelled in the process. I think he just kind of gave himself over entirely to this project, and some lovely writing came out of it. But it's the kind of thing that I do. I mean, this is a bit like that, this oak tree project, though I'm not pushing myself. I come when I can. Take a leaf out of nature's book. I don't force anything for this project, but it is something that is really helping me right now. But yeah, I thought I would, because sorry, I'm talking a bit jumbled now, but there's a number of people that have passed on, acquaintances, colleagues, friends of mine that I talk to openly as if they were still alive. And I sometimes invite Roddy to practice with me when I'm playing my piano. It sounds, I don't know, I don't care what people think, to be honest, but it helps me. And in my latest collection of poetry I wrote in 2020, I talk a lot about Roddy in that. I don't know, there's people you meet in life who have a huge impact, a lasting impact. And that continues after the person dies. So I thought I'd read some poetry of his today, sort of invite him into this space with the tree. I'm sure he would approve. And I just wonder what he would make of this world that we're living in, because I think personally it all went crazy after the pandemic. That's kind of what I think. Hiya. Hello. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Gorgeous. Yeah, you too. Seen a nice dog, he licked my hand. Yeah, I wonder what Roddy would have made of this world post-COVID. I mean, he missed all that. I don't think, I mean, he was very sociable. He ended up in a old people's home, unfortunately, but he still had people visiting him, and he was just very, very sociable, not like me at all. I don't think he would have coped with lockdown, but because of his imagination, maybe he would have found a way of getting through it. Personally, I loved it. I wish that it was locked down all the time. Yeah, and I don't know, just all the hate. And I watched this awful thing about the manosphere yesterday, and how young boys are getting drawn into that via social media. I worry about young kids. I feel so sorry for them, a lot of them. Anyway, it's another subject. Yeah, and he certainly wouldn't have got on with this AI business, I don't think, because it's wrecking the careers of artists and lives of artists, musicians and writers. And I mean, I just don't engage. I think further on in my course, if I manage to stick to it, they encourage us to use it for some things. And I am, even though I am open-minded, though, even though I choose not to engage with things like chat GPT or whatever it is. Learning about critical thinking is realised that, it's made me aware of my biases, and that I need to perhaps embrace it in some ways, but I just resent the fact that I don't know the impact it has on artists. Anyway, yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Roddy would have embraced this in the way I have, and tried to find a way through, adapted. Yeah, I'm glad I've come out. Chilly. But wouldn't want to miss the changing of the leaves and everything that goes with that. I remember probably exactly a year ago I was making videos about the nature of change and how to navigate change in life. And that was before things got so bad with Jan's dementia and things, and I think everything you fear about change does actually come true. It's terrifying and it's really hard, and you don't think you're going to survive it. And yesterday I don't have any time to myself when I'm at home, and I just wanted everyone to just piss off and leave me alone, and I just huddled up under the covers. You just want it all to go away, but it's not going to go. It's not all going to go away, and that's the nature of life. So the one certainty is that life changes and we're all going to die. So anyway, waffle today. Okay, here we are. Let's see what the state of play is today here. It's a little bit misty, which I like. Let's see if this rubbish has gone here. There's some outside. And that looks as if it could have gone. Wow, it's been picked up. That's really good news. One less thing to do. So let's have a look at the... I think the other's gone as well. Wow. People do surprise you, but then I think there are people that, at least one other person that visits the tree and probably cares as much as I do. But yeah, it's all gone. All gone. Brilliant. No McDonald's. That's saved me a plastic bag. Morning tree. So look over here. Yeah, this dead, rotting branch is breaking down nicely. Something else to observe when I'm visiting. Oh no. The dead chick. Oh, how sad. Down there. Not going to zoom in. Oh. That's sad. Just cover him over with some leaves. At least he's under the protection of this tree. Yeah, he's gone. Poor thing. Let's just cover him over. Oh dear. Sad to see. We're better than the protection of this beautiful tree anyway for it. Glad I've been able to cover him up anyway and ask my angels to look after him, or her. Oh, sad. Yeah, there's a little bit of litter here, but nothing to write home about. I'll take that with me now. Still a bit worried about sitting under here. It's very still today. It's just... Now I'm thinking, is the bird really dead? Oh, God. That's another thing that's happened to me in life. I often come across dead animals, like dead cats especially. And it's as if I was supposed to be there to look after them at that point. So, like, sensitive or worry, oh well. But it seems dead. Right. So these are the books I'm going to read from briefly: Mischief Night by Roddy Lumsden, and the new French poetry, David Kelly, Jean or Jean Calfa. Yeah. Death is another thing that I want to run away from, you know, and you think, well, what if I go home and find Jan dead? You know, oh, I don't know. You just... Life's like that, it's unpredictable, and I just feel I want to check that it's still, definitely is dead. Yeah, he's gone. You know, you're scared, but it's such a beautiful little thing. Scared to touch death. And maybe he's one of the, because there were great tits in the spring in the nest. Yeah, it's cold. Life is just so heartbreaking. And I sort of take these things on, you know. So I've not been as nice as I could be to Jan, but it's because she's not been as nice as she could be to me, and you just have times when I can be kind and compassionate and patient, and other times when I'm just not at the moment because I'm so exhausted. I feel so besieged. I think I've said before, I'm just angry that all this is happening to her and to me. But you just think some things in life I just thought I wasn't capable of. You know, when she collapsed, I didn't think I would ever be capable of calling an ambulance or anything like that, or just dealing with that. And I did, and this is all part of life. You know, it's all part of life. Anyway, let's find these poems. I'm not going to sit under here. I'm going to just, I'll read the poetry and then leave today. I think I've confronted that fear of the dead. Great tit. I think it's a great tit. I used to work in a bird hospital, Brent Lodge Bird and Wildlife Hospital, and I could never deal with seeing them in pain and having them, you know, some of them had to be put to sleep, and it's just part of life, isn't it, you know? Right. Okay, this is Roddy's book. I've just opened a page at random and asked him to join me. So it's called My Meeting with the Goddess. You remember how in the story the academic is shopping for socks in a mall in Manila when the goddess appears in the form of a shop assistant who touches his beloved face and disappears. My goddess decides to show herself at a workshop in a sleepy Highland town. She has chosen a champion disguise, a restless German redhead, at least my age, in a cardigan sewn with beads of rain which shine there all weekend and never dry. There's a new identity she's been devising ever since she followed me back here from the dark sugar streets of Bacolod. She's sweet but complicated, divorced, a lapsed romantic wearing a cynic's hat, with a wheat-free diet and 6 years in the Findhorn Foundation behind her, a nice crypto-theological touch that, and a bachelorette pad over in Avok, where she secretly whips up pans of adobo. We escape the Firth front to wolf great platters of breaded seafood and salad, to wrestle with tartar sauce sachets. Our pasts are shadowy because she's a goddess and because ECT wiped half of mine. I recall something about a putting green. She talks of a brief marriage in Switzerland. Oh my God, this is typical Roddy. I try her with Unterhaltung, Smoglik, Keaton and Selbstbedienungslebensmittel Legschaft, and she laughs politely. Ba Allah na, batting them back with a gruff forehand. Highland dogs cruise the streets. For once I do not take the chance they afford to move in close. I should have embraced my goddess, should have held her hand if only to feel it disappear in mine, to see her shrink away, casting me adrift in the back streets of a black isle town, and weeks later flying down to Galway. There she'll be again beside me, her thighs broader and longer, the cute tippy-toe walk that screamed not German gone, her nose in a trashy Scottish novel, another nice touch. But it will be her, biddable and tolerant her, willing to deliver my baby face girl to girl and town to town in my time of sluttery. For now I leave her, dram in hand at the bar, talking to some local worthy, her accent shifting from Negros to Bayern to Easter Ross, and tomorrow I will take in the Japanese annex, my pomegranate mouth, my yak flank hair, the skin of my back busy with mill sweet, feet beeling and dinging like buck rabbits, and a dispirited girl will play a Chopin nocturne over and over through in the sunlit lounge, as if someone had written a script. Sorry, as if someone hadn't written a script. Yeah, Roddy is well known for finding these unusual words, which I always enjoy looking up in his poetry. Right, let's get the French one out. Again, I've just opened a page randomly. It's not even at the beginning of the poem, so I'm not going to find out what the poem's called. I think it's by Joyce Mansour. So you've got the French on one side and the English on the other. So I'm just going to read this page. The smell of dust in an autumn night, dead after the dying of the sun, mask of ashes on vermilion cheeks, remembrance of Greece, behind the shutters of the great old men, brood over their spongy roots on a gravelly bed, so many theories condemned to silence. I greeted a horse passing on its way. Why water? Why always water between terror and the awakening, which opened the mouth of man? Venus, tiny moon, sickness of the poisonous mire, with gallows tits, with webbed feet, stunted by standing too long erect, pipe pointing in the jungle of darkness, and the virgin's virile shaft verges on verdant vacillation, vertigo. Venus, archaic virago, root floating on the roadstead, she who tends the furtive priests, she who shits in the atavistic snares, she who wallows, she who squats on the Comulo volcano, place of cremation of the sheep in hypnotic days, Venus, vile acrobat of the campfires, she who scissors the sky with carnivorous thighs, she who drifts on the vast tracts of Nazca, Knotted viscera, harsh vibrations spilling the swirling soup of a night of solitude in the dog's dish. It vomits, blessed those of India, burnt to a cinder. Beyond the ravine they discover the bluffs of eternal return. Well, can't say I really understood what was going on there, but doesn't matter. I enjoyed the letting it float all over me, and descriptions of some very fascinating women there. So yeah, so I hope you like that tree. And this has been here for months, this little rotten piece of wood, so I'm going to put that next to the, I get a couple of bits actually to protect. God, this thing's falling down. I've made a little grave for the bird. Okay, bye little one. Right, things are plopping down, so I'm going to make a move. Yeah, I've managed to get the macaroni cheese and beans on. I've come to this spot in the woods I found maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Don't know, time flies, but you'll see it on my videos. It's quite a rough part, fly tipping, and yeah, like I say, but it's still peaceful. I'll make the most of it because in the distance you can see, because the leaves are falling, you can see people walking by. I hope to God I'm not getting bitten. Still mosquitoes around, but this will be nice. I won't have to think about food later. So, yeah. Steaming up. Yeah, that was really delicious. The macaroni cheese and beans, nice and hot. Keep me going for a bit. Yeah, I'll go back and tackle this essay. Hoping that some more of it falls into place and I see a way forward with it. I think what I've got to do now is just call a halt to the reading that I'm doing. Apart from I haven't started reading the peer-reviewed articles yet. I've got to read up to 8 of those, which I'm planning to do this week. But But the main thing is that I'm interested and excited about what I'm reading. So if I wasn't, obviously I'd be wasting my time with it all. So I hope I haven't been bitten. I'm feeling a little bit itchy. I've just got rid of the bites I had all over me, literally all over. So I don't want another load, but when I get home I just want to shut myself away in the office with my cat and get on. Yeah, so it's been a very long-winded video today, but it's day 80, so a bit of a milestone, I suppose, and bumper edition. That's what you're getting. So yeah, this Bergen rucksack, I love it so much, and it feels like there's somebody at the back of you giving you a big hug. That's what it feels like. So thank you for watching, liking. I do appreciate it. A couple of compositions I've uploaded recently, just little 30-second, minute ditties. Enjoying playing my piano again, not having a student to worry about. So yeah, I'll go now, and hope you're all well. Lots of love. Bye. Just a little PS as usual. Oh God, people everywhere. Hang on. Last video was talking about Michael of the Hopi Native American dry land, I think it's dry farmers in Arizona. Had a bit of exchange with him, and he's saying he admires what I'm doing, and I just told him that life's also very difficult at the moment, and he told me to believe in myself, so I'm taking that to heart as well, to keep believing in myself. And my tutor, Anna, said that I should be like Dory, I think on Finding Nemo. I don't know the film myself, but I think the fish is called Dory, and it keeps repeating, keep on swimming. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. see you again soon. Bye. PPS, I just want to show these daisies that have just been so heartwarming to see every time I come out of the door. Something to be said for not weeding the driveway. Here's some more. Look at these Michaelmas daisies. Aren't they gorgeous?